Yo, how we doing today? Good to see you guys. Welcome to another day here on the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you guys are doing great. We are hanging out, chilling until the Xbox conference at 1. And then we have the, oh my God, Starfield mother direct. I am so excited. Also, I've already had some people ask this, so I will go ahead and say it. The plan today is to watch Starfield Direct, absorb Starfield Direct, and then most likely what we'll do is we will then watch it again tomorrow morning and do kind of like the whole pause through it, really kind of deep dive it a little bit. That's the plan as of now. Yeah. That's the plan as of now. Okay. So today we're just going to kind of watch it, do an initial watch, kind of absorb it a little bit. And then we'll do the big thing tomorrow. Okay, hold on, I'm testing something real quick. I'm back in the Elgato. Somebody suggested something to me, and I am super curious if this is actually the issue. If it is, this is going to be kind of hilarious, to be honest. Let me see here. Starfield is my actual issue. Pause through it, really kind of deep dive it a little bit. Shut up. All right, hold on. Oh my God. Chat, it's running at 60 FPS through my Elgato right now. Doesn't that look buttery smooth? Doesn't that look buttery smooth? I think I figured out my issue. Get this. Get this. Okay. Hey, Barry, are you listening right now? Are you listening right now? Out of curiosity, do you have your ears on? Because you're gonna like this. Barry says, does a bear poop in the woods? It does. So here's the deal. I have to use an older version of OBS. And that's why I'm having the issue. That's why I'm having the issue. The problem is that OBS has an algorithm that takes the frequency of the broadcast and then it downscales it to the output, right? Which is great. The problem is that if you run your output at a frame rate that it can't properly divide into the requested output, then the older version of OBS has an issue doing that, and it skips a frame. So the fix was changing my output from 144, which is not divisible by 60, to 120, which is divisible by 60. So now that it's at a 120 instead of a 144 on my main monitor, I fixed the monitor output to 120. Now it's not dropping a frame trying to process the over frame, essentially. So that was the fix to this issue. I need to contact Elgato and let them know. And funny enough, they have fixed this in a newer version of OBS, from what I understand. So if I had the latest version of OBS, what it would do is it would truncate at 120 if it's over 144, and you would see a smooth frame. So yeah, apparently it would also work if I ran it at 220 or 240 or whatever, but I can't do that. So there you go. That was my problem. So I just basically have to make sure that everything runs in 120 and we're good. Yeah. Why can't I update OBS? I can't update OBS because Barry has built a small city on top of OBS over the years that we've worked together. And just like a hose connected to a spigot, every single section of that pipe has to be ready to upgrade before we move to the latest version. And I do not in the slightest blame him for this, because literally he has structured all of our systems as like 50 spinning plates, and every plate has to spin properly on the new version. And OBS recently did a big update, not recently, but a little bit ago. OBS did an update that basically changed the game in terms of how that infrastructure works. So Barry has been over time slowly migrating in the back end And we're just not quite yet to the point where everything is migrated. When everything is migrated, I'm going to do like a big update to the new OBS version. And he's actually working on that now, I believe. But we're just not there yet. And also, to be clear, Barry has been working on a plethora of other stuff during this while supporting the spinning plates, while doing other stuff. So he also, you know, helped me with my second channel. He's been helping JP with a bunch of stuff. Like it's, you know, he's doing a lot. So yeah, it's more than okay that we're a little behind. It's more than okay. Everything we use is custom. So that's to be expected. That is the price of custom. Yep. Doesn't Cohh really work for Barry? I mean, at the end of the day, in some ways, ow! All right, let's see. Anyway, glad that got figured out. All right, we are gonna keep working on, I think, some quests this morning. Yeah. I have a lot of quests that I need to do, and we got to get it done. Do I have any points? No, not yet. There's a quest. A questicle, if you will. How is the OTK Game Expo? There were parts of it that were really good, and there are parts of it that could use some rather serious improvement. But I'd say overall, it was good. Yep. Oh, Agamir, I'm 100% sure they would. Yep. Mm. Mordreen, I think most of us can agree that Cohh has an amazing team around him, from mods to art to tech support. Much love to them all. Dude, I no question. We have arguably the best support team on Twitch. Yes. I will say that with pride. Absolutely. We've built it over a decade, and they're all amazing people.
I see you. Yes. Yes. The grinning.
They're all amazing people.
Applause, if you please.
Except that one guy, but we're working on him.
Reaches out to me. I just need to. So close.
Only the worthy earn the grinning one's attention, prove themselves. Now they know true happiness. Their bliss boundless, the old one's eternal gift. The old one's eternal gift?
That's it. That's what I heard. Prove your worth before me.
Valzanter, thanks for the 5, buddy. Appreciate you.
Eternal gift. The grinning one guides me. Ogai is worthy. No. Not yet. Not yet. Come to the shrine of the Old One. See its majesty with your own eyes. See Ogai prove his worth.
Chat, this isn't gonna end well. Nope. This is not gonna end well at all. Yeah. Anyway, I don't remember why but yeah, the OTK stuff. So the OTK Expo, the amount of games they showed was phenomenal. Esfin did an amazing job. Asmongold did a good job. I definitely liked Soda and Seer as well. But the problem was the show, there were some major issues with the flow of the show pertaining to the focus groups after each genre event. They were way too scripted, and they were way too just like repeating what the game was and saying, "Oh, that's cool," or "Yeah, I'd love to do that." Like it was frankly, to put it bluntly, with the length of the show, it was a waste of time. It was a waste of time. because none of them really had, like, outside of some of the commentary that Soda had to say as somebody who actually plays those games. Like Soda was putting in some good commentary. Asmongold was putting in some good commentary every now and then. Seer was hilarious. But I feel like most of the other people were just being like, oh yeah, it looks pretty and it looks fun. And they literally did that like most of the show, and that's just unneeded. That, again, when you have a show that's already 4 hours, you don't need like an hour of that. You just don't need it. They were overselling them too hard. Not every one of those games is going to be super fun and fun to play and fun to watch. But they made every game seem like it's the best indie game coming out. And it's just like, it's just not needed. It's not needed. That's not, you know, you're not here to sell the shows. You're here to show them to people and expose them to the gameplay. And like the interviews need to be reworked in terms of showing gameplay in the background and making it clear who they're interviewing and what. The interviews need to be, I would love to see more interviews that are shorter. Like at the end of each genre, do a 3-minute interview with some quick questions, blast through them and then go on. But the thing about the show, like, I loved when the OTK guys went off script, especially Seer and Soda. Like that stuff was hilarious, but they were on script for like 90% of the time and off script like 10% of the time. And you kind of only watched it for the off script stuff. So it was, it created this weird dichotomy of like, it just didn't really watch well. It felt kind of pandering and not very interesting at times. So yeah, I think that it was a big improvement over last year's show. I think that it was overall, it was a good show. Absolutely. I can't say enough. I'm gonna be honest here. The entire show could have been Espen and just showing the games, and I would have been like, this is amazing. Like I can't say enough how awesome it was that Espen wasn't cracking cringy jokes, was just keeping the pace up, was just like, here's a game, boom, here's a game, boom, oh that was cool, here's another game, boom, here's a game, boom, and like that was great. Like they could have completely done away with the interviews and the groups, and that show would have been 2 hours and it would have been awesome. So like it's weird to say this and I don't want to sound like a dick, but the show would have been better if it was just Espen and games. Asmongold did some good hosting too, to throw it out there. And again, Soda and Seer were hilarious. But like, I feel like they've got like all this good stuff there. They just need to distill the show down to the good stuff. That's what they need to do. They need to tighten up. They need to make it toy. They gotta distill it. There's a good drink in there, but it's not quite distilled enough. But yeah, I mean, they again, the show was much better than last year. I'm looking forward to next year's show. I'm sure it's going to be even better. To their credit, and thank you to them, they actually sent me a message and were like, we heard a lot of your feedback. We're taking it into account. We appreciate you watching. Like, super actually professional of them, which is weird to say about OTK, but it was very cool of them. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to next year's show for sure. Hey, Be Just. I'm looking forward to the Capcom show on Monday. Me too. I'm wondering if they're going to have like a big announcement there. Yep. They are weirdly very professional. You know, one thing that's interesting about OTK, and I think Soda exemplifies this a lot, OTK is like watching people grow up. Like a lot of, like, we're literally watching people, we're watching people go from like bedroom streamers that like roll out of bed and just turn on their stream. We're watching people go from that to like owning publishing companies and running actual game event shows and stuff. Like, this is all, we're all watching this in front of us. It's kind of crazy. And many of them are absolutely killing it. Is that a good or bad thing? I think it's a great thing. Like, dude, I think the Mad Mushroom announcement, I think that it's hard to argue there's better people to promote indie games than the people that are showing them off to tens of thousands of people in a positive light. And most importantly, play those games like near religiously. I think that's phenomenal. I think as long as they have people on there that have the business savvy to, you know, manage the money properly, which it seems like they do have some heavy hitters in there that are not necessarily like, you know, streamers. They're there to make sure the money gets spent properly and allocated properly. Like, that's a great combo, dude. That's a great combo. I think that's awesome. I'm actually super excited to see what Mad Mushroom does. I think that's a very, very cool thing they're doing. I'm looking forward to what games they plan on picking, because that, of course, will be a big deal. And then it's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to market them. Because like we were talking about yesterday, Mad Mushroom, which is the new OTK publishing company, OTK owns Mad Mushroom, which is going to publish indie games. And then they also own Mythic Talent, which has a slew of like, what, 60 to 80 streamers under it? So it's the kind of thing where this publishing company will be able to pick a game, fund it, and then for their PR, go to their management team and be like, go forth and promote. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's a wild concept. That's not normal. That is a new weird thing. I mean, they could literally turn a game from unknown to getting exposed to literally hundreds of thousands of people in a weekend. Like, that indie devs dream of, they drool over that kind of thing. So the fact that Mad Mushroom can go to an indie company and be like, hey, want to make your game successful? It's like, they literally control every step of the process. They control the publishing, they control the streaming, they control, like, that's wild, dude. Would you ever join OTK if they asked you to? I'm not, that's not really my jam, dude. Like, the thing about OTK is that they're, first of all, let's be blunt, I'm probably too old. Second of all, I don't really do what they do. That's never been my thing, and that's not my thing. I don't do events. I don't do... TLDR, they wouldn't ask me. Second of all, it's not my thing. So what I would love to do is I would love to help them succeed in any way I can. You know, that's... especially with their publishing stuff. Like, yeah, when they do games and stuff, you know, I'll gladly, you know, do whatever I can in that regard. Just, I think like any streamer would. I think that's kind of how that goes. I don't think what I would say there would be unique. I think any streamer would like to see streamers like seeing streamers succeed. In some cases, even if they're not a fan of their content, streamers still like seeing streamers succeed. So I would love, ow. So anything I can do to help facilitate that, I'd be happy to do. But no, I don't, you know, all the OTK guys, they do shows together, they do IRL stuff together, they do events, they do all that kind of stuff. And I got 3 kids. I got 3 kids and I live on the East Coast. And for the record, any org asking me to join would get that answer. That's not an OTK specific thing. You know, my life is full. I have chosen to make my life full. It has really no room for anything else at this point. Outside of, you know, a few hour call every week or so to help facilitate things or give feedback and stuff like that, which is not the same thing. And bacon. Yeah. Cohh, why not revive the Coalition streaming group? The short answer is time. The short answer is time. It's the same reason I wouldn't join an org or anything. I don't have the time to properly do it. It's the same reason I essentially dropped the what was it called? New Game Plus. I just don't have time for that stuff. Yep. Can't I get a manager? I have a manager. It's not an issue of having someone else. If I wanted to do something like that, I would want to do it. Not you know. I don't want to just farm out my name for someone else to run it. That's not the point. What class am I? I'm a rogue. Yeah, so again, as I get older and my kids get older, then I absolutely want to look into more stuff that would take more of my time. Game development, I absolutely want to get more into game development, specifically with other established teams. Maybe help running that kind of stuff, helping ushering in the next generation of streaming. Like, absolutely. Maybe a coalition streaming group. Yeah, dude, when I have more time and I'm older, that is 100% things that I want to look into. Right now, these days, if I'm not streaming, I'm with my kids, man. And I want to be spending as much time with them as I possibly can, while also getting in as much streaming as I can. So it's 2 bottomless pits of time. I don't need anything else right now. That's just where I am in my life. Hey, Cohh, you have Phil Spencer on Drop Frames again anytime soon? Maybe. I'd love to after the Xbox thing. Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. One sec, I actually want to hear this
Gnaws
stuff.
at me. So close to its gifts. But first, I must be proven. The grinning one must see Ogai is worthy. The dust showed me a labyrinth, winding walls, endless halls, laughing from the deep. It wants ancient offerings returned, offerings of devotion, offering from those once worthy. But Ogai is not made for demons and darkness. No. You brave the shadows. Bring what was lost to Ogai. Then the grinning one may speak to you too.
Man is snorting corpses in Diablo. This is gonna end well. 100%, dude. 100%. Lane the Wood says, my oldest graduated this weekend. Congratulations! Black Source says, is Cohh skipping today's events? Yeah, you know, it's just the Xbox conference who owns literally my favorite studios, and then Starfield Direct, which is one of my most anticipated games. So I was just thinking maybe I would just go, you know, maybe just read a book or something. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. You guys are so ridiculous. Hold on. Somebody said something, but here we go. Are you content with that, or do you wish you did have more time to pursue more things? I always find it hard to have to say no to focus on less. My pixel persona, here's the thing. There have been many times in my life when I have, we will say, overcommitted. And I have learned throughout my life that when I overcommit to too many things at once, that nothing gets done up to my standards, and it generally just leads to depression in some facet. Even if I'm doing well in some things, I know I'm failing or not doing well in other things, and that's terrible. So one big thing with streaming that is actually I've been learning, and I still learn over the last 10 years, is balance. And I fundamentally understand that right now, my balance is streaming and family. I have said no to some incredible opportunities, especially over the last 3 years. And it has hurt to say no. But I also understand that by saying yes to those, that both my streaming and my family would be impacted by me doing that properly. So I am thankful to have more opportunities than I have time for. But I absolutely, a big part of life is learning what you can say yes and no to. Because if you just say yes to everything, you will eventually find yourself in a position that is untenable. Yeah. You have to, everything in life comes down to balance, is what it comes down to. Everything in life comes down to balance. You can distill almost any life advice down to just balance. In fact, funny enough, the secret to life, and I've said this many times, the secret to happiness is balancing looking forward and expecting things and appreciating what you have. And I will argue that 90+% of the time someone is unhappy, it is because that balance is off and their balance is slated towards wanting things they can't have and not appreciating what they do. It is wild how basic that is, but how much that rings true, I have found over the years. Yep. I got a skill point? I do. I think I'm going to have to redo my passives. But I don't know what I want to redo them to. But I think I need to redo them. I need more damage. I think we might be able to drop the energy stuff. Maybe. We could go ahead and start getting Dark Shroud up to get more damage reduction, but even then it wouldn't be that much more. You deal a % higher damage to healthy and injured enemies. You deal more damage to vulnerable enemies. See, these would be really good. So we could get these up and do like 18 and 9. That could really help. We don't do any stealth stuff, so we don't have to worry too much about that.
Harass, chicken, harass.
I will. After knocking back or knocking down an enemy, we don't really do that. Oh, except this. When you critically strike a dazed enemy, they're knocked down for 0.5 seconds. Oh, this could be interesting. But only if we max this. So we don't daze an enemy normally. So if we dash through an enemy, it slows them. If we then dash through them again, it dazes them. So we could use that to trigger. We'd have to crit, so we could do that to daze them. They'd be dazed for 2 seconds. If we critted them, we would then get a 12% increase crit strike chance. I don't know if that adds up. I don't know if that adds up. Yeah. Take your R out for poison. Yeah. Oh, poison trap knocks down enemies. That's interesting. The thing is, though, is I'm currently using a board for that. How hard is it? How hard is it to reset your Paragon points? You gonna watch the Final Fantasy 16 event? I don't know. I'm so torn, dude. I don't know. I really don't want to. I don't want to spoil myself. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm very, very torn. At the same time, it's like 4 hours of quality content. I don't really want to miss that. I don't know, dude. It's tough.